Welcome to the kingdom. I am your host. They call me Phenom. Over to, well, I guess technically it's my left. It might be their right, depending on how they look. Either way, it's Sirius, your other co-host.
What up?
Welcome to the Blurred Perspective. This week, we don't really have like any movie topics and stuff like that. It's, like there are certain things going on in the movie world, but I just really don't care that much right now, to be honest.
Hurt?
It's just some random shit that we just want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, before we even started this, me and you were talking about Dragon Ball Z and how, when you really think about it, Vegeta does not deserve any credit ever being a hero. If you remember in the Majin Buu saga, how he straight up murdered like a quarter of the world tournament audience.
Now, before we really get into this, because I agree with you, but before we get into this, let this be known that Vegeta is my first favorite.
I mean, he's my second favorite.
Or Dragon Ball.
And the fact is, I forgot about that until someone brought that to my attention one day. It's like, man, Vegeta don't deserve shit. It's like, y'all all just forgot how he just straight up murdered people in cold blood just so he could convince Goku to fight him.
And how he brought about the end of everything,
yeah, it's like
by bringing Majin Buu up.
It's like he sacrificed himself for Majin Buu, but he created the destruction that caused Majin Buu to come here.
Not to mention all the bodies that Majin Buu piled up are technically on Vegeta's head.
Yep.
So
it's like he absorbed like Trunks, Goten. He absorbed Gohan, but that was more so Gohan's fault because Gohan got a little too cocky because he was a little too powerful.
Yeah,
which is always the downfall of Gohan. Whenever Gohan gets a good power up, you know he about to lose because he gets just too damn cocky.
He's too excited.
Yeah, he's just too cocky about it. Like Cell Saga is just like, yeah, I got this power now. What you want to do, bitch?
He beats one person, and then like all of a sudden his head is super huge now. Like he just wants to fight everybody, and he thinks he can win. And the writers just don't agree with him. That's all.
It's like, no, young man, you need to be humble.
Right? They just don't agree with him.
But yeah, anyway, I was just thinking. I was like, man, that person who told me about Vegeta is right. I was like, I think about Super and how like he's turned into like this great character in Super. He's like this loving, devoted father. He cares about his wife. Even so, he's got even a little apprentice dude, Kaba. Yeah, like he's showing feels all over the place. Bears put his hands on Bulma. He's like, don't you dare touch my Bulma. And my man was willing to like give up on the fight and to stay at home to take care of his daughter. He was like, nah, that's cool. I'm straight. He's like, Vegeta, we need your help. My wife needs my help because she just had a baby. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Look at you being a responsible adult.
I got cooked food. You know what I'm saying? I got rubber feet. All the other stuff that, pregnant people want you.
Maybe he's just like trying to make up for it because he knows in
but
real life
he could
his wife should have left him a long time ago.
For every bit of a tease that she is and gets from the masses, is the strongest woman ever. She has to be like the strongest woman like ever. Just like as a woman, because she stuck with that dude. She should have took everything. Like the whole conversation.
I mean, she had everything. Vegeta really only came into the relationship with his fighting gear.
But still, look, I'm Vegeta. You're married to the second strongest person in the known galaxy at this point right now. You know what I'm saying? So despite whatever material things that you bring to the table, like, who's got your back, baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only one dude stronger than me. That's it, just one.
And that's because all of your literally abandons his family years at a time and keeps dying, but refuses to come back when he dies.
But by the time he started, like, he was in level Bulma, his family structure was already set up, and by the time that whole Majin Buu saga came along, like, he was like that disgruntled hero. Like, you can count on Vegeta. And then all of a sudden, he goes, makes that deal, puts that M on his head, kills a few thousand people, allows for the destruction of more millions of people, damn near the planet. I think at one time.
Matter of fact, I think the planet did get destroyed. Didn't they have to wish it back with the Dragon Ball?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And we didn't get an episode after all of that was said and done to where we was like, yo,
where he had to deal with the real fault.
the intervention of family members and friends, like, all right, nigga, this rivalry Goku has gone too far. Okay, this is a drug. This is addicting. You need help. We missed that. Or when all the people who died are hitting them up from hell or heaven or whatever, it's like, yo, Like, come on, son. Like the
Vegeta,
fallout.
when
We
you-
needed that. That
like-
closure.
Yeah, it was like he died and then he came back and he had the halo on his head and he was like, why? Why did he get to go to heaven? Why is there a halo over top of him? Like,
So-
he didn't deserve that at all.
Now, don't get me wrong. He did sacrifice himself to what he thought would kill
He tried to
Majin Buu.
he tried to fix a humongous problem of his creation.
Yeah. So he tried to no avail. Okay, we know how that ended. And then how many? I mean, I think even if you used to go canon and non-canon, I think before he technically came back to life, he might have helped Goku save the world like, I don't know, 2 more times. They fought Janemba when they fused the first time in non-canon.
Yeah.
And then I want to say there was another fight in between. So it's
I mean-
like the saving the after,
Technically,
after you,
Broly hadn't made it to Earth in the original Broly.
he was
but
alive though. He was in non-canon. He was alive,
and he helped.
But yeah, so like the saving the planet now kind of like, does that make up for you destroying it that one time because you wanted to fight this guy that you should have been friends with for a really long time? Like all Goku wants to do is be his friend.
I'm gonna say no, and more so because of the manner in which everything happened with Majin Buu. Like, if it was more so like when he first came to Earth and he was just like, all right, I'm gonna find the strongest people, we gonna fight.
Mhm.
You know, he might have like, what did he do? He like blew up some trucks, destroyed some jets and whatnot. Nah, this man,
Nothing on the scale when he was
this
evil.
man,
He did nothing on
this
the
man
scale.
was literally in the middle of the ring
Yeah.
in a in an auditorium or at an arena surrounded by people, just looked, had a smirk on his face, and just blew a wall out
A few thousand people gone.
on live TV.
And scared the shit out of millions at home.
Yeah, so like the horror on Bulma's face when that
He
happened.
caused a worldwide panic just like that.
I'm convinced the reason Bulma didn't leave him is because he might have got the Dragon Ball and wished that she forgot that shit.
The man that I love is a monster. Like, yo.
Like the one thing I'll never forget, like my memory may always fade, or like when it comes to certain things, the one thing I'll never forget about the episode is the damn smirk on his face when that happened. Uh-oh. We got a visitor?
I think we got a visitor.
I think so. I don't.
Oh, a ghost.
Oh, that's my wife. Like with the door cracked open. Hi, wife. Yes, I did everything that I should do in the morning when it comes to the care of my child.
Okay, thank you, son.
No problem.
Thought it was a ghost.
I thought it was the kid at first. I was like,
have you ever seen that video? Like there's 2 white girls in their room, and all of a sudden
Nah.
like the door. No, it was crazy. Like the door shoots open and like some other stuff happens. I jumped out the window. But no, anyways, back to
that
what
was
you
my wife asking me, because you know that's what you do when you're married. You consult with your significant other. There had to
said.
be
Model
a big
citizen.
there had to be a big ass conversation between Vegeta and Bulma after that. There's no way these fools didn't sit down for like a good 3 straight weeks, went to couples therapy.
Like, yo, like
She should have left that.
she should have took everything and just like
And really, when you
put
think about
everything
it-
in a capsule and just move somewhere far away. Yo.
I like how Super just kind of skips over that, because Super picks up not too far after the Majin Buu saga, because
Right.
Trunks ain't that much older in the in the beginning of Super than he is in the Majin Buu saga.
Right.
Trunks and Goten. So it's
Maybe
just
like a year or 2
yeah,
or something like that.
I wouldn't even say a year. Like, well, yeah, maybe no. I say a year or 2, because by that time Gohan had Pan.
Right.
So yeah, a year or 2.
Mhm.
Man, that, you know how long it would take me to forgive someone for something like that? I don't even know if I could forgive someone
That's what
for
I'm
something
saying.
like that.
Like, could you?
It's like, I don't care how many. Yeah, but he died to save everyone. But he blew up all these people in front of me. I was there.
Of his own free will.
Yes,
there
of
was
his
no,
own
like,
free
mind
will.
control. He wasn't brainwashed. Like, of his own free will.
In front of his family.
He didn't care. Like, he didn't care.
Like, I will
That
never,
type of
like I said, I
selfishness.
will never forget that that smile on his face when he did it. He looked happy. He looked happy, and he looked 100% content with everything he had done.
I'm okay with doing this.
Yeah, he was like,
It's like,
he's just like, oh, you don't want to fight me, Kakarot? had to be done.
You want to fight me now?
Yeah, man.
Because I'm gonna just keep doing this until you decide to fight me. Like, chill, bro.
It's like, dog. Yeah, it's like when I had to stop and think about it, I was like, I realized that a lot of my favorite characters have to have flaws because, you know, they're supposed to be.
That's a hell of a flaw.
Yeah, like when you think about it, that's one of those things. It's like, at this point, he shouldn't be my second favorite. He should still be a little bit lower. In like every saga, he should go up like a percentile, not even a whole spot, just like a percent.
Like, okay, and if I can remember correctly, Kid Buu, didn't he travel to like King Kai's planet? Like once he finished with Earth, didn't he leave to like King Kai's planet and whoop their ass there? And then didn't he like go to he went different dimensions and was like whooping everybody's ass?
Yeah, because they beat him on a different planet.
Right.
Because like I said, the whole planet had, because I do remember that, because the planet had been wished back. Goku needed energy for the spirit bomb. That's when Vegeta was like, hey, all you dumbasses, give us your energy. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy telling us what to do?
That's a lot of like people on Vegeta's head. Like like other dimensions have to blame him for the loss of life because of what like he did. And that's why I now that I think about it, when he asked Piccolo before he blew himself up, you know,
he's like, will I go to where that fool Kakarot is?
Piccolo's like, no.
He's like, why would you?
No.
Like what? Goku is like, despite all Goku's flaws, everything Goku did was always for either to make himself stronger so he could protect people or to protect the world. Like, you're only doing one good thing. Like, even before...
This one good thing doesn't even amount to all the bad shit that you just did with that decision.
I was like, because everything that you did before that, when you first started becoming kind of an anti-hero, it was all for selfish reasons. Like, this was the only first selfless act you did. But I fought Frieza. You wanted revenge for destroying your planet. Like, and you just wanted to be the strongest person in the universe. Let's not forget, the whole reason you were on Namek was so you could become immortal.
I'm be honest. The more this conversation goes, the more I'm rethinking my position on Vegeta being my favorite character. I'm gonna have to go to the second favorite now. Future Trunks. Gonna step on up. Like, the more I think about it,
look, the will and determination of Vegeta, just not the homicidal tendencies.
Exactly. Like, I can't rock with that. I can't condone that shit, son. He betrayed every part of existence's trust when he made that decision, bro. And then asked if he was still going to go to heaven. Like, wow, really?
He's like, hey, Piccolo, if I hold my son for the first time and tell him that I love him, and then I destroy myself for everyone, can I go to heaven?
I'm saving Kakarot, son, too. That should count for something. All right, I done some bad shit, but come on, 2 notches over here, good side, right? Right? Like, he's like, no, you monster.
I'll save him long enough so you can teach him how to fuse. That gives me a plus, doesn't it?
And they didn't even do the job. It was just bad. Nothing that came from Vegeta. Any ideas? Any like sacrifices? And nothing that came from Vegeta did anything to help anything with the Majin Buu saga. Nothing. Nope. And he was the sole cause of it. His decision to do what he did.
Had to let Bobby, or was it Bobby or Bibbidi? I think it was Bobby. I think Bibbidi might have been his dad. It was one of them. It was Bibbidi, Bobby.
It was Bobby.
Okay,
Bibbidi, Bobby, Boo.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, it was Bobby.
But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, and F you like Dragon Ball Z for not thinking anyone would catch on to that shit either.
I mean,
Bibbidi,
granted,
Bobby,
it took a really long time. Like,
no one would think about that.
Like, for you all to push Vegeta as a hero so hard that like he could just perform this humongous atrocity to all of existence, and then we'll accept him nonetheless.
It makes me feel a little bad how hyped I was when that man broke through his limits in the Power Tournament.
Now I don't care as much anymore. Like, yo, now I'm just better. Like, you got a lot to make up for.
But now I'm just like, you deserve that look of horror on your face with Goku and Frieza teamed up at the end.
Like, dude. Nah, man, I can't even think of some more shit that he would have to do to make up for that. Like, that's insane.
He would have to do a lot.
Like, And so when they wished everybody back, so did everybody remember what Vegeta did? So like now is the hero of all time just chilling with the villain of all time?
I mean, because let's face it,
in the people's
if
eyes.
he came back, if people who were there or who saw it recognize his face, yeah, they should be calling for him to get hung.
Like, dude,
it's like put his head on a pike. Why is he still here?
Like justice just isn't served now, like at all. Like everybody came back, and it was just like, yeah, I remember that this all started because of Vegeta. No, he said it on TV.
Like low key, when it was all said and done, Goku really should have just like blasted that nigga with his spirit thing from behind.
Something's got to happen.
Or Piccolo should have like Vegeta should have just been like off talking to somebody, and Piccolo just like, can't let this. I'm sorry. Boom.
I know everybody in the world was watching that tournament because Hercule was there. And everybody in the world watches Hercule.
Yep.
So everybody heard Vegeta seen what he did, heard why he did what he did, and was just like, wow, dude, you just gonna doom us all to destruction because you wanna fight this dude that clearly don't wanna fight you?
We all know the real way that should have ended was Gohan or Goten or somebody else should have came up, snuck up behind Vegeta and just straight broke his neck and was like...
Or he has to leave. Like, he's living too plush of a life to have done what he's done and still be on this planet.
Married, like when you're married to, one of the genius scientists behind Capsule Corp.
This whole thing is just becoming super mind-boggling, man.
The evil guy married into the rich family. Technically, Chi-Chi is technically rich because her dad is a king,
right?
But just look at how Chi-Chi and them get by. Look how Bulma and them get by. Look how Vegeta and them came up. Vegeta knew. Vegeta's like, nigga, I was a prince. I deserve the best this world has to offer.
But that's horrible. Like, from the eyes of a regular person, it's just like, yo, they probably got like posters of him, like in different places. Like, yo, the most evilest villain of all time is chilling with the most heroic dude of all time, and like we can't even do nothing about it because the nigga that he did all that for to fight would stand in between us. Like, he would take up for him. Goku was too much of a stand-up dude. Man, this whole plot's broken.
Vegeta would need a redemption plot that would span an entire series, not an arc, an entire series.
Like, he would have to be the reason that all the universes were never harmed.
Vegeta would have to be the galactic version of Kung Fu, just traveling the galaxy, righting wrongs.
But there's,
and he still, and then even after that, he would probably have to jump over to some different universes too.
And people would ask him, "Why are you doing this?" Because I betrayed a whole planet, son.
It's like, why are you doing this? It's like, I murdered a bunch of people in cold blood just to entice my rival to fight me.
Now, granted,
while allowing my power to seep into a magical being that was bent on destroying all life as we know it.
Yeah.
Like,
now, granted, this isn't the first planet that he's destroyed. Probably not the first planet that he's betrayed. Okay, before he got to Earth, my man was just going on a tear, just blowing shit up. Remember that little alien?
Yeah, but it was worse because you thought he got. Yeah, but it was. What makes this worse is back then he just didn't have a conscience or anything. It's just like he set roots in this place.
That's what, and that's the point I was getting to. That's what makes it worse. Like, once you got here, nobody know about your past. You don't really gotta talk about it because we think you were a monster. But now that you're here, you're a good guy. You kind of helping out.
You're here. You're setting down. You're setting down roots. You got a family. Like, he was talking about, I've gotten too comfortable in this world. What's wrong with being comfortable?
I mean, granted, it's not his traditional Saiyan lifestyle. Which, how much of the lifestyle did he have when he got sent off at such an early age?
If he had become king, he would have ended up with a comfortable lifestyle because he wouldn't have gone nowhere. At no point did I ever see King Vegeta go off and do nothing.
He didn't do shit.
He was on the planet all the time, so that leads me to believe that once Vegeta got of age, he was just going to be sitting on the planet not doing nothing.
As a matter of fact, every time they show that dude, he's like walking through his throne room or sitting on his throne or blasting someone from his throne. It just wasn't like that throne room was.
That was the only place you ever. The throne room and that birthing pod room. Only two places I ever saw that man.
Which I'm sure was connected to his throne room.
I'm sorry. When he walked outside the palace to greet Frieza and King Cold.
Well, I mean, you almost have to then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, other than that, he didn't do nothing. Like, that would have been a cushy life. Like, he would have had a cushy life afterwards anyway.
That'd have been a boring ass life compared to the life Vegeta has now. He wouldn't know what to do with himself. and he would miss his daughter.
I mean that. And let's face
Gravely.
it. I mean, it
Like,
doesn't
really
seem.
bad.
It doesn't seem like the Saiyans was knocking boots. It just seems like I don't know what how.
Nah,
the, or
they
did
was
they?
knocking boots.
or
Then they
did
put
they-
the baby in an advanced like growing chamber
Well,
thing.
they wasn't knocking boots.
And
They
the
was.
dudes was
They
gone.
wasn't knocking boots for fun. I feel like.
Nah, it was
Like-
off of
Like
planetary
when
reasons.
Vegeta's like, he's like, wait, I gotta wait how long? 9 months? All right, whatever. All right, you got a kid. What? We can do this again? Okay.
This is how y'all get down here. I don't
Yeah,
want to
man.
feel happy about Vegeta right now. Hold on, calm down, because this nigga's a monster. All right.
He really is, man.
I'm
It's
really
just-
conflicted.
It's like I said, he put down roots, and he still decided to go ahead and do what he did. Like in that moment, he was so selfish. He was like, bump my wife, bump my kid, bump my kid's friends, bump these people who've come to rely on me as an ally.
Yeah. Goku, you got a wife and kids? Of course you do. Bump them too.
Yeah, pretty much. He like
Fight me.
he might as well have just put his middle finger up and just let that blast come directly from his middle finger.
You still don't want to fight me? Fight me. Boom. Like, come on, son.
But yeah, that was
All right, Future Trunks, you're up at bat. I'm sure he has a bunch of deficiencies too, but
Gohan, you're still there for me because I know that the writers were the ones who screwed you
I
over.
feel really bad for you, Gohan fans.
It's I don't feel as bad because it's just like I know how strong he is.
You
And
know how
once-
strong you know how strong they told you he was.
Once they pretty much once the creator pretty much admitted that Gohan was supposed to take over, but they changed their mind because Goku was everyone's favorite person. I'm like, all right, that lets me know you always planned on Gohan being the shit, but
Never
popularity
as
won
good
out.
as his dad. Like that's
Popular-
whack. He could at least be second best, and he's not.
I mean, and
The writer said that, and he was like, and so we're gonna do what we can to kind of
Look,
raise him up a bit. He's still at Piccolo's level. They were fighting damn near on the same level in the Tournament of Power. Like, Gohan should have been whooping way more ass.
No, that was the.
I felt like he
once
used
again,
Piccolo as a crutch
that was-
big time.
Nah, that was the anime's fault. Because once again, when they were doing the anime in the Tournament of Power, the manga hadn't come out. In the manga, he went up and did a double elimination. Him and the two Saiyan girls when they fused.
Right.
How in the anime it was Goku that defeated them. In the manga, it was Gohan.
Oh, so the anime was before the manga.
Yeah,
So they tried to make.
That's
him
why a
seem
lot of people.
little
That's
better.
why a lot of people were just. That's why a lot of people at a certain point felt like the Tournament of Power started to get felt like it was starting to get rushed. Because
It's
sometimes
getting
Dragon
real-
Ball arcs.
It's
take
getting real Goku-y up in here. He's
Yeah, 'cause
eliminating
a lot of
quite a
times
few
Dragon Ball
people.
arc, there's a lot of talking in Dragon Ball arcs in between the fighting and whatnot. This shit was for for like a few episodes. Well, not even a few episodes. For like 20 episodes, this shit was a straight fight.
Battle Royale,
And
son.
that's
That's what we in right
and
now.
that's part of and that was part of the reason because the manga hadn't caught up to the anime yet, but they knew once this arc was over with that they was taking a break. So it's like, all right, let's end this.
Let's try to add some background to all this fighting.
Yeah,
I loved it. I didn't need.
So
I
yeah,
didn't need too much talking.
they tried. It's just unfortunately the anime still decided to take a shit on Gohan, but still. Although I did see someone on Facebook one day, you seen those memes where it's like Lisa Simpson at a presentation board and then it's just like some fact and it'd be like fight me or debate me or something like that.
Yeah.
SJ walked up and it said what it said. SJ said Gohan definitely felt Broly's energy level from wherever he was in the movie.
And did nothing about it, bro. He did absolutely nothing. He didn't pull up. He didn't do that. My man, what he's a teacher? What's going on?
He's a professor.
He's a professor? No. Anyway.
It's like, anyway, so about this, it's like even Piccolo was like, hey, you good?
Piccolo was gonna be their third option. Like, that's extremely whack, son. Piccolo was just like, well, first of all, I don't want to get involved because I just get in the way.
Yeah.
But I'm here if you need me. Like,
He's like, if I got to, I'll be there. But like, really, I ain't that much of a help if you can't do nothing.
no, a fight on Earth. Everybody on Earth felt that power. So Krillin, where was TN? Where were the Z fighters when it came down to Earth's defense, bro.
Tien already remembered how Gohan beat the shit out of him before the tournament even started. Tien's like, I ain't good to nobody no more.
I've never seen Goku get manhandled the way I saw him got manhandled on this movie, and I was like, hey, nigga, this ain't looking good. Vegeta's just watching it, too. He's just taking a break.
Vegeta's just in shock.
Yeah, he's taking a break, chilling, watching. He was probably smiling, watching Goku get manhandled. And then he was like, all right, come on, bro.
You know he was smiling when he realized that Broly kept getting powerful and was keeping up with him when he went Super Saiyan God. And then he started fighting Goku. He was like, wait, this nigga hair didn't even turn red yet. Oh. He's like, what the
Oh, he's showing out. Oh, all right. I'm going to sit here. Oh, all right, bet. You better not need my help later on. Yes, I'm telling you, bro. Now you're going to transform. Oh, all right.
He was like, hey, Vegeta, look at this power. And I ain't had to sell my soul to get it. I feel like Goku be thinking that in the back of his head. Like, ever since Majin Buu, he's like, hey, Vegeta, watch this. Hey, you know what I didn't have to do to get this power? I ain't had to kill nobody. Like, I ain't had to betray my wife and my family's trust in me.
Hey, that's insane, son. Gohan definitely ignored the shit out of the planet. Reality got broken at one point during that fight, son. Gohan did not bat an eye. My man was still in bed.
I mean, out of necessity, you could even say even Frieza jumped in, but that was more so out of necessity.
To save his life, then. Damn, that's crazy. Like, I remember thinking about it, but then quickly, forgetting about it. And no, that's insane. You Gohan fans should be ashamed of yourselves, bro. Broly fought. He brought the fight to Earth. The first uncanny fight was on a different planet that was going to get destroyed anyway. No, he brought the fight here, and y'all boy didn't even show up. In other words,
we're saying Vegeta ain't shit.
Oh,
Gohan ain't shit.
Oh man.
So your only real choices are Goku and Future Trunks.
That's it. I'm sure Future Trunks he'd have been there. He'd be like, yo, the planet's about to get destroyed. I can't let this happen. He'd have jumped in.
He was like, I won't let you do this. And get mad and, get into his rage form.
But, and y'all wonder why Goku's the goddamn hero. Come on, man. Stop playing around.
Because everyone else has been written with giant ass flaws.
Man. What? No, Goku is technically a society standards.
He's an absentee dad.
But he's a bit of a retard.
Oh yeah,
he's below social standards of intelligence.
We've already seen inside of the Future Trunks arc. I'm trying to figure out how does he have 2 kids when he doesn't know what kissing is.
That's what I'm saying. So he's just a genius when it comes to fighting.
If I had to say. And I don't think I'm really going out on a limb here. I'm pretty sure that Chi-Chi probably raped Goku.
Wow, that's a pretty bold claim.
I'm just saying. It's you ain't know what kissing is. So that leads me to believe that you probably don't know what sex is, which means if you did have sex, you didn't know what was going on.
I mean, he knew what sex was by the time he popped out Gohan.
He didn't know what kissing was, and he already had 2 kids and a grandchild.
That means he.
And I don't know about you, but when I'm in a relationship with someone and we're intimate, I normally kiss that person while we're intimate.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't make Chi-Chi a rapist. Don't do this. That's no. And if Brown was here, she would say no. We are not going to touch this topic.
We're not going to touch this topic.
No, we're going to leave this topic right the fuck where it is.
We don't have to touch this topic. All I know is I open Pandora's box, so everyone else is free to think whatever they want to think.
No, I don't want to be the show that brings that to light. I don't want that. No, just anyways. Next, what else we talking about?
Oh man, I mean,
please don't call anybody else rapist from a childhood. Please don't do this.
Since we're already talking anime, and because me and you, even though we're into all this, blurty stuff, we're also into a lot of sporty stuff.
We are.
I'm a basketball fan. Let's go San Antonio Spurs. 22nd consecutive year of making the playoffs.
Let's go Wizards. Bradley Beal is hooping. I didn't know Bradley Beal was hooping. He's 3rd leading scorer in the league. I had no idea. Look, go Bradley Beal.
My Spurs lost Kawhi Leonard, DeRozan isn't always a statistical machine like he was in Toronto.
He
his
came
previous
out.
couple years.
He came out swinging. He slowed down. I ain't really.
Oh,
Been paying
yeah,
attention
he
to him.
slowed. Yeah, he's like hit or miss.
Huh?
But the fact is, we lost the MVP caliber player, a 2-time defensive player of the year, a Finals MVP, and we still, for the 22nd year out of my 30 years of life, are going to the playoffs. That's greatness right there. Like, I realize a lot of people just like Bill Belichick, Tom Brady this, but nah, I'm sorry. Greg Popovich is the greatest coach.
Pop is the man.
Greg Popovich is the greatest coach ever, in my opinion, because 22 seasons. And what do a lot of people always say? You take those Spurs players and put them on another team, and they don't do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when people used to look at me, it's like, what is the Spurs system? Like, look, I don't know exactly what the system is, but I know it works.
And they passed the ball.
Yeah, it's like, that's like, it works.
So-
But anyway, so I saw something on Facebook. I shared it with the guys. I know until this morning you didn't see it. It was a comparison of NBA players to animes.
Okay.
And we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through this, and I just want to discuss it, see if you agree, see if some things you disagree. So first things first. All credit to this idea and this creation will go to Darius K. Adams.
Okay.
So
Appreciate it, Darius.
Yeah, so shout out Darius.
Content for the day.
Pretty much. So we're going to start off with the GOAT. Well, my GOAT. Some people debate the GOAT now, but my GOAT. Michael Jordan is Dragon Ball. And here's what it says. Basically, ran the 90s. Love or hate that spans over 3 decades, started in the 80s. Every other player / mainstream anime will be compared to them. That's dead on, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like,
you compare, yes.
Everyone is compared to Michael Jordan. LeBron James will always be compared to Michael Jordan, because even now, when people are just like, LeBron is now the GOAT, I'm just like, nah, man, you got to go back and watch MJ. But because of the era we're in,
the
we
era
don't have
and
the same
style of play and the athletes from now compared to then.
Yeah, the only thing I would say about LeBron James better than Jordan is he's an overall better team player.
Okay.
Like, I think he's more. I think Jordan and Kobe have like that. I would say Jordan and Kobe have the same mentality. I would say LeBron James kind of has a Magic Johnson mentality where he's kind of more so like a point where he tries his best to set up everyone around him to be great.
Hey, he's the point forward.
Yeah, and Michael's more so like, look, I trust you guys, but I know I got to put this shit on my back.
Right, like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah, Michael Jordan is, I'm going to say Dragon Ball Z because I know you said that, if we just say Dragon Ball, did Dragon Ball start in the 70s or did?
Yeah, I believe the Dragon Ball started in the 70s.
Because Dragon Ball Z started in 89.
Right.
Okay.
So, no, yeah, I totally agree with this. Every anime that we watch, whether, you agree with it or not, we always compare it to Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball set the pace.
Yeah, this is like, Dragon Ball is like one most of our like first loves. You know what I'm saying?
My little brother is like half my age, and I remember when he first got into anime, and it was because they relaunched Dragon Ball Z as Dragon Ball Kai.
Yeah.
But that was because of all that legal, like, anniversary, and because of all that legal shit they had going on with the music of the original Dragon Ball, so they couldn't make money off of it, so they had to re-release it.
Right. No, yeah.
So copyrights.
I mean, I agree with it. I mean, you had your giants like the Naruto's, the Bleach, the One Pieces. Like my thing was like,
I remember as a kid watching Gundam, but you know what? If I miss Gundam, I wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
If I miss Dragon Ball, I'm like, dog, when is this episode re-aired?
Yeah. Like that whole, like, when we were all in school and going through that whole Frieza saga and having to wait every day and like every conversation, that's when
Toonami took over your afternoon.
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't a late night thing. It wasn't a weekend only thing. He was like, 4:00, Toonami, let's go.
So, no, yeah, I agree with that comparison.
All right. So the second comparison, Kobe Bryant to Naruto. It says always in the shadow of Jordan Ball Z, well respected amongst the world of mainstream anime. Legacy expands after retirement. Didn't accomplish as much as Jordan Ball, but definitely the only other worth taking the GOAT title.
Yeah, man. You know, Naruto's legend is still growing on his son's show.
Yeah.
So,
Like, well, you know, I've been trying to catch up. I finished the actual Naruto, the first series,
and you've been doing a really good
and
job.
so now I have to start Shippuden?
Yeah.
500 episodes.
Yeah.
Whew.
After that, you might as well just go straight into One Piece.
Like,
You're going.
yeah, I might as well.
episodes
Yeah.
like that.
My brain is gonna be fried. That's like all I'm gonna be doing is studying for certs and watching anime.
Well, we see you did the original run, then you got to watch Shippuden, then you got to catch up on
Boruto. Yeah.
and then you can just jump straight into One Piece because apparently you got that mindset that I just can't do it, man. So you watched the show, fillers included, like everything.
I watch fillers,
Good
but
on you, dude.
I won't lie. If I was watching on Netflix and I could tell it was a filler episode, I would just kind of like skip forward every once in a while.
Okay.
So like I didn't like sit down and watch the end. Like if it's a 22-minute episode and I know it's a filler episode, I'm not watching all 22 minutes. I'll maybe watch like 10-15 minutes.
You get the gist of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like understand what's going on because there might be some vital information inside there. But yeah, I ain't sitting through it if I know ain't no action going on.
Hurt.
But yeah, I mean, I agree because some people like the second in line debate always comes down to LeBron James and Kobe Bryant.
Right.
And some people are going to put Kobe over LeBron because Kobe has that Michael Jordan mentality.
That Mamba.
It's just like you at, hey,
that clutch gene.
You call it the Mamba mentality is just the evolution of Michael Jordan's mentality. That's all. It's Michael Jordan's mentality with Kobe Bryant's flair. I call it because that's what it is, man. It's that cutthroat, it's that killer, it's that clutchness, it's that when you need something done, I'm the one that you gotta run to. It's the you don't ask me to put anything on my back. I already know as soon as I put my foot on the floor, it's on my back.
So game time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the shot's on the line. Of course, you want both of them to take the shot. But do you think, like, say they don't get the ball in time, they don't get the shot off, whatever, right? So, say something goes wrong. You think Kobe's more pissed than Mike is? Like
No, Mike's more pissed.
Mike's more pissed?
Mike's more pissed. There are stories that people used to tell about Mike, like physically putting his hands on people because he was mad. Like there are stories about Mike coming into practice and just shitting on everyone on the team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like talking like just shitting on like third string bench players. Like there's stories about like just what was it? It was one story where it was like something happened during the game and somebody on the other team on their bench, like not a main player, not a second stringer, like at the end of the bench had like snickered or something, and Mike thought that he had snickered at him, and he went off. He did something. He like jammed on some dude, and then just kind of stared the other dude in the eye. It's like that's the type of
You'll never be here.
Yeah, like Michael Jordan's competitiveness is like on another level. That's why he has a gambling problem or had a gambling problem because his competitiveness is just it's up there. I don't know anyone else that's at. If I had to say. I would say in this day and age, Russell Westbrook is probably the closest person to competitive as Michael. Like that dog in him in this current generation. Like I'm not saying
I'm inclined to give you that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's the best.
Right.
I'm just saying as far as that mentality goes, if you ask me which player in today's NBA could fit into Jordan's era, I would say Russell Westbrook. More than anyone else.
Russ would destroy that Jordan. He's just too fast at his position.
Like those two would be like those two head to head in their prime. That would be a great game because that would probably be nothing but physicality. Like
that fight before the match is over.
It'll be nothing but physicality. Like trying to dunk, trying to drive to the hole. Like it'll be blood everywhere. They will refuse to call fouls on one another.
It'll be a basketball UFC fight.
Pretty much, but at the end of the game, they probably hug it out. They like Michael. I feel like Michael will probably look at Westbrook like, nah. I feel like
I don't see no hugs after this game.
I feel like, well, I don't mean like literal hugs, but I mean like at the end of the game,
Maybe
Jordan would look at him. Jordan would look at him like, I respect the hell out of you.
Maybe a good game.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Maybe.
I think Jordan would respect the hell. I think Westbrook would probably be the only player in this generation, if you play Michael Jordan in his prime, where Michael Jordan would walk away and be like, I respect the hell out of you. I think he would tell him. Like, I love LeBron. I think he'd look at LeBron and be like, this kid is a monster. This kid is a beast. This kid is the future. But I think I think he would see himself more. I think he would see himself more in Westbrook than anybody. And you know what? He might not say it. He'll probably have some slick, sly way of saying it. But Westbrook will understand what he's saying.
But like over Kobe though, you don't think Mike would see himself more so in Kobe than in Westbrook?
I feel like
I think Kobe would give him that go.
Kobe would give him that go. I'm just talking about from the mentality. I'm talking about the mentality, the mind, the overall mindset, and that dog and that pit bull. I feel like Westbrook might be more of a pit bull than Kobe. I feel like Kobe is a cold killing assassin. Kobe has a stone cold heart, but Westbrook is just a pit bull. That's all it is. Westbrook is a pit bull. But anyway,
I can't say that I agree, but I'm also not gonna tell you that you can't feel the way that you feel. So I don't know. I just not over Kobe though.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a better player. I'm just talking about I'm just talking about strictly from an attitude purpose. I mean, from an attitudinal type of mindset. But next on the list we have Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know if I ever say this name right because I've never watched this anime.
Hakusho?
Yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Hakusho?
Yeah, I had the first season, but I haven't watched it yet.
I feel like I butchered that. Yu Hakusho, man.
But here we go. Shaq, the last true big, and honestly, the last of bully ball. That's true. So this is why what the hell? God damn. So I just lost all that I was about to read, and You
want me to pick it up?
Sure, go ahead.
The last true big, and honestly, the last of bully ball. Yu Yu Hakusho dominates everything in its style of play. Started in the 90s, can continue to grow in the 2000s. Ran out of gas in the end. Hall of Fame run.
I find that to be truthful. He definitely ran out of gas in the end because he wasn't really taking care of himself.
Yeah.
Like, so, like people after Miami, I like to forget that he was in Cleveland. I like to forget that he was in Phoenix. Those don't exist to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. But in the 90s and the early 2000s,
he was the most dominating person.
They said
on the court.
Yeah, they said. So that whole beef that happened with Kobe and Shaq before they split up, they said Kobe's biggest issue with Shaq was always that he felt like, kind of like Jimmy Butler, where he felt like Shaq was this great player, but he just didn't put in the effort.
I mean, everybody can't put up the 350 shots like you a day, Kobe.
I think he meant like just like staying in shape, just doing what he needed to do to make sure he was the best version of himself.
Right.
On that court.
So, I mean, by that time, at what point was my man, what's the rapping genie, son?
The rapping genie.
Yeah, remember Shaq played the rapping genie in the movie?
Shazam.
Shazam?
Yeah.
Was that Shazam?
Yeah, that was Shazam. Not to be confused with Zachary Levi's Shazam, which comes out in theaters this Friday.
Okay, yeah. Was he with the
Lakers?
Or was it
Kazam?
See, was it Kazam or Shazam? I don't think it was Shazam because
maybe it was Kazam.
That has to be copyrighted. So
maybe it was Kazam. Well, at that point, I think Captain Marvel had. No, I don't think Shazam was copyrighted at that time. Look, this is what Google's for.
Here we go. What?
Kazam. K-A-Z-A-A-M. Yes.
Okay. So was he with the Lakers when he was doing Kazam?
I have no idea actually.
Because, I remember at that time he became a little bit of a movie star. He was still.
Yeah, and if you're going to be a movie star,
Kazam,
got to be in Hollywood.
You know what I'm saying?
So that came out in 90s. That came out in 96. So I want to say he probably was with the Lakers. Let's see, 96. Yep, he had just got to the Lakers.
Man, Shaq was doing big things. I don't remember seeing Kobe in any superhero movies, or he was a rapping genie. I remember him in that music video.
I mean, but in the end, Kobe got 5.
Hey, man. And Shaq is adored everywhere. Okay, everybody loves Shaq.
Kobe got an Oscar.
Well, you got me there.
like Shaq literally went on air and said, like, he's just like, as much as I didn't like, the one thing I wish I did was I wish I announced my retirement and did it like Kobe and did my farewell tour. Like Shaq, like my jersey retired. I got a statue. Kobe, like they retired 2 jerseys of mine. It's like, look, we got like they got the greatest player in the NBA right now, and all they do is compare him to me and ask me if I want to come out of retirement.
Right? I don't think Kobe would be.
Nah, Kobe's happy with his 4 girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's straight. Did you hear the comparison
What?
where he was on that late night
Oh,
show?
when they asked him to do the when they asked
Between
him
him-
to do the rankings
Yeah.
or to eat the cow tongue.
Yeah.
And he said
me,
Jordan, LeBron.
and LeBron. Yeah. You
Yeah.
agree with that?
I mean, I would switch him and Jordan around, but I would agree with the. It's
I
all
like-
about
I-
it's all
I
about it's all about the mentality.
I like Kobe a little bit more than I like MJ.
I like MJ.
It's like it's not even a lot. It's just like a little bit more than
Yeah,
I like MJ.
I like MJ, but that's because like when I was like with my father, like I had no choice but to sit down and watch like whatever sports games was on because there's only one TV at the time. So
Right.
I did see a lot of basketball with MJ, but I was MJ, Kobe, LeBron, and more so it's not a knock against LeBron. It's just I relate more to I like the mindsets of Kobe and Michael more than LeBron. Same thing with James. Same thing I told you with James Harden earlier.
Give
It's
me
just
the
like,
ball.
yeah, like same thing I said with James Harden earlier. You can't deny that he's putting up buckets and that he's a great scorer, but when you see how he gets his buckets, sometimes it kind of turns you off.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
But yeah, so who was after Shaq? We got speaking of, we have LeBron James in One Piece. 2 things we know for sure: after the apocalypse and long after roaches have withered from the planet. Withered. No, weathered. I said it.
Weathered.
Yeah. LeBron James will still be playing basketball and One Piece will still be ongoing, which means they both have longevity,
Mm-hmm.
could be considered the greatest anime of all time,
Mm-hmm.
spent a lot of time playing against Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
and still hasn't gained the same amount of respect.
It's Narutobi Bryant, man.
Look, I don't want to mess up someone's combination of names, all right?
Narutobi Bryant, man. Okay, now just from a One Piece standpoint,
900 fucking episodes.
I have seen 5 episodes from the beginning.
I've seen like 40 and I like it, but the same thing with like Naruto. Once I realized how many episodes it was, I was behind on. I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
No, and that
if I get through shipping and then I'm just like you said, I have no excuse not to be able to get
exactly.
through One Piece.
You're a marathon,
But,
man.
God
You're running a marathon.
damn.
I don't know if I just the not. Don't get me wrong. Being considered as the greatest anime of all time, I get that all the time. Like just from other people who watch animes and like being online and things like that. People absolutely love One Piece. Hypno loves One Piece. Always telling me to get into it. He's like, look, man, you can even start from this point if you don't want to. Like he's really trying to get me to get into it. And I'm like, yo, the number of episodes is really like.
It really turns you off.
Yeah, like I just can't because one,
That's a lot of commitment.
Watching the beginning, I know for a fact that there's episodes way a long time from now that are way greater than anything that I'm watching in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I know that for a fact. Like I could pull up a One Piece fight and it's like, oh, that's the greatest fight that I've ever seen, and it's nothing compared to what I'm catching in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So like that little slow churn getting up to that point is really going to eat at me. But then. At the same time, I know I'm probably missing out on some wonderful shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wonderful characters, wonderful storyline. Because people just, they're sticking with this.
The longevity and the episode count counteracts your FOMO.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like you're over here like, I have a fear of missing out, but I might have to miss out because this is a lot.
It's just a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's an imposing number. No, they've already hit 1,000, didn't they? Like
They probably did.
Over
They
1,000 episodes.
Probably over 1,000 episodes. Then they gotta have a shitload of movies.
Like, yo, my time. Yo, like, yo, it's like, what would I do? Like, it's just One Piece and bed and work. Like, how would I live trying to watch all these episodes, man?
Let's see.
Like, I don't know. It's too much other anime that I could be getting into that's like I'm caught up on.
Well, it says 887 episodes.
Oh,
But then
word.
you gotta remember movies and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of anime content, right?
Yeah,
there. It's just a lot.
Yeah, that's
And it pains me that cause yeah, man, I'm with y'all. I want to get into One Piece. I really do. Please believe me.
He said, I promise on my soul I do.
I just can't, man. Y'all give me the cliff notes, man, and I'll yuck it up with y'all, man. But I just can't.
Just tell me what fights to look at on YouTube.
Yeah, send me some good fights to watch, man, and I'll appreciate them with you. But
you need them like like Game of Thrones recaps where it's just like a 10, 15, 20-minute recap of an entire arc.
That would be great. That would just be super. And I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'm sure they got it out there.
All right. Next, we have Sleepers of the Craft, which is Dwayne Wade and Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Said in the 2000s, Kobe, LeBron, and Carmelo were the talk of the town. Underrepresented, but probably one of the greatest runs of all time. Found its way to compete with mainstream anime / players. Could carry a team without major broadcasters or advertisement. Everybody loves this shit. Followed by crying emoji, strong arm.
I don't know one person who doesn't like Full Metal Alchemist.
I haven't watched it a lot, but I never had a problem with if it was on TV, I could sit down and watch it. I never had an issue with it.
The only time I've ever seen it advertised was like on whatever station it was on.
Late at night on
Toonami.
It's coming on at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, like that's it. That's the only time I heard any type of advertisement about seen or heard advertisement about Full Metal Alchemist, and it's just like it's still one of like top tier, like, you know what I'm saying? It's up there with the
I mean, it held us.
It's maybe a drop, below
it's tier 2, but
it's like number 1 tier 2.
Yeah, it's like the top of the tier. It's how my man do it on 21 Jump Street. It's just like this is the roof, and but just that's all it's trying to do.
Right. It's steadily knocking at the door, man.
Yeah.
It's trying
Yeah, it's knocking on the back door.
And
to get in.
That's been D Wade's career, man.
Pretty much, because I remember for the longest time, I was happy when LeBron decided to go. I was happy when LeBron decided to go there, and I was happy when Shaq went there, because for the longest time, he was holding that team down by himself, you just started to feel so bad. It's just like, dog, look at him every year. Like, he was still getting to the playoffs. It was like the Boston Celtics versus Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. Oh man, that was
that's the way broadcasters used to hype it up.
Right.
Like they used to be like, you have XXXX on this team, and then you have Dwayne Wade, Udonis Haslem, Jawan Howard. Alonzo Mourning might have been there if he wasn't hurt. But it was like, yeah, man. For the longest time, that man literally put an entire team, an entire city on his back.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I like his farewell tour.
Yeah,
a little bit more than I like Kobe's, because his looks like he's having like a lot of fun. Like, I'm sure Kobe was having a lot of fun, but it was more so like memories. Like, yo, I beat this team by a lot of points in this.
Well, because Kobe's farewell tour, they were still treating Kobe kind of the same. Like, it was still just like, yeah, I'm starting. Yeah, give me the ball. Yeah, I'm taking these shots.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm doing it. Dwayne's farewell tour is like, yeah, this is my last game, but I'm still coming off the bench. It's not like he demanded, hey, this is my last season. Let me start every game. He's like, nah. He's like, look, I'll sit back, I'll chill, I'll contribute what I can off the bench,
and everything that I do is going to be magical.
Yeah,
just wait. You know what I'm saying? You probably going to wait till like the end of the first for me to get in there.
Yeah, like I hate to say it, when Kobe did his farewell tour, I didn't care whether or not the team won or lost. Like, when Dwayne did his, I kind of want to see Miami win. Like, they played the Spurs at San Antonio. We were on a 9-game winning streak, and I just saw Pop hand him autographed jerseys from Tony, Manu, and Tim. I was like, our win streak about to get broken, and I don't even care. Just win.
Did they win?
Yeah, Miami won. I was like, win, get to the playoffs, do what you got to do, man. D-Wade, you deserve this.
You deserve it all.
Yeah, it's just like, he deserved it. He took less money just to get LeBron and Chris Bosh. Mm-hmm. He was always taking, I don't think he really ever got the max.
Some help. Hell yeah, bring them on in.
Yeah. Like they're in the A spot right now. I hope they make the playoffs. Dwayne's farewell tour can end in the playoffs. Kobe's didn't, but still.
Yeah. But like Kobe also didn't need to.
And I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't do that thing where like his very last game, like they did Kobe, where they just hand on the ball pretty much the whole time and they just let him shoot. Like nah,
I'm sure he wouldn't want that.
Yeah, it's like man,
this isn't part of my legacy at all.
Dwayne, starting on your last game. It's like why my knees hurt.
Come on, coach. I'm too old for this shit, man.
Yeah, like, come on.
What do you mean?
He's like, come on,
it's your last game, man.
No.
Come on, Flash. Nah, no, not no more, man. Hold his knees. Not anymore, coach.
Nah, man, the Speed Force gone. Like it went to go find what's the dude name? You got Barry. Who's the other one?
Oh,
he went to go find Wally. No, yeah, it's like nah. The Speed Force. It went to Wally. I'm done. All right, next one on the list. This one hurts my heart because this really was, at some point, my favorite anime. And we have. No, I'm just gonna read it.
Go ahead.
You want to know what Wasted Potential looks like? Carmelo, Bleach, Anthony. Oh my God, what could have been? Really found a way to fumble at the end of their run. Not a doubt everyone's favorite show / player if they weren't watching Naruto Bryant or LeBron Piece or LeBron Piece. In their prime, they were amazing. And I hate that this had to be true because I loved Bleach to death. Like, I think by the time I got to Bleach, it was already like 3 seasons in. And I remember downloading the first seasons that I missed and just like watching it all on my tablet, on my laptop. It didn't matter what time of day. I was all about Ichigo Kurosaki.
Bleach is still my favorite anime.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't put it
like that.
Okay, no, and I
but they're so right though.
It's my strong second because my first one's coming up, but this is my strong second favorite anime. But no, dude, like I had so much. I didn't think Naruto would last as long as it did. as long as Bleach, when they first came out, they came out at the same time, going head to head.
And I was like,
yo,
I was fucking like, I remember getting the Naruto fighting games, and like I'd be playing this shit. It's like this is dope. It'd be doper if there was a Bleach game.
All the time. Like, yo, where's the Bleach game coming to console, bro?
I played you with the Naruto. Matter of fact, that was the first time I saw Naruto. I think I went with you like over your cousin's house, over a friend's house or something. We were just like watching it. I was like, oh, this ain't too bad. And then I started playing the games. Like, still would have been better if I was
right.
I'd be up in this like I'm playing like Bonkai.
No, I remember before watching Bleach. Okay, I was looking for a very specific anime. Now, this was at a time to where like. I don't know if I just didn't know how the internet worked. This is how far back it was. But I was like, why? I know now we have way more anime options than we did when we were a little bit younger as far as like our reach of how to access it. But I remember one time, this was back then with like AOL, like instant messenger, shit like that. Like it was around that era, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I want to watch an anime that has swords, that has like powers with the swords and like they like power up and stuff. I remember saying that to myself and I was like, but all I got is Dragon Ball Z right now. And then this shit came along and I was like, oh my God, the gods were listening to me, bro. This is exactly what I was looking for. And Bleach became my favorite shit of all time. I was like, Naruto is not going to survive. As long as it's going head to head with Bleach, that shit is going to fall off to the wayside. A whole child later, the Naruto series is still going strong, and they fumbled Bleach. I remember watching a documentary on YouTube about the fall of Bleach, and I almost cried.
I mean,
I didn't
even bother to watch the last saga after he defeated Aizen.
Bad,
and that's what Carmelo was. Carmelo came into the game with LeBron, and it was always Carmelo LeBron, and then like slowly but surely. LeBron. Then Carmelo's name started to get replaced by Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. And it's just and it was to the point now where it's just like Melo just sitting at home like he collecting checks and he getting money still, but it's just like dog.
No, and I thought
you could have been one of the greatest. You could have been a Mount Rushmore player.
I thought that was insane. Like I understand like he wasn't gonna come off the bench. He was like, nah, dude, like I'm Carmelo. start me.
Like,
But-
nah, dog, Dwayne comes off the bench and he got 3 rings, and he's like, do what you got to do for the shit you ain't. You got to do what you got to do for the things that you got to have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really like how all the teams was just buying his contract out. It was like, is he really that hard of a player to fit into your game plan that y'all can't do nothing with?
It kind of is
Carmelo at all?
because he doesn't play defense. He doesn't. He's not really known as a 3-point shooter. He's more of like a mid-range like person, like a DeMar DeRozan. So, do you really want an older DeMar
And he
DeRozan?
don't really,
older
because
DeMar
his
DeRozan.
age, he can't drive to the basket.
Do you really want an older DeMar DeRozan that only shoots mid-range and doesn't play defense?
I mean, I guess not.
But yeah, it was just so much. It
They
was
was
so
paying
much potential.
heavy to pay him out, buy him out his contract too.
Right.
They was cashing
It's
out
like
millions.
It's
Like,
like
bro, we just
he's-
don't want y'all to play. We just don't want you to play for us.
Like, yeah,
That's
his
all.
last couple seasons, it's literally the end of Bleach, where it's just like Ichigo doesn't have his powers anymore, and you just kind of don't care. And then some bullshit happens, and I just hate that it had to be so right.
Nah, yeah, like, oh, Ichigo is fighting to get his powers back because he met this new group. Oh, man, he's going to OKC? Oh, shit, we
Yeah.
might get some life back in it. It's like, okay. And then, like, that flashed out, and it's just like the same ways that the last season of Bleach is
then-
like, oh,
And then
that
the
ending was
last
horrible.
season, oh man, he's gonna go to the Rockets. Oh man, he's gonna agree to come off the bench.
Right.
Oh man, James Harden, CP3, and Melo. Then you just like, oh man, Melo. Oh man, Melo. Like then you just like, oh shit, they gonna buy him out. Oh goddamn, Melo.
Damn, Melo.
Yeah.
That was your shot at the ring right there, bro.
Yep.
Like, shit. No, yeah, it was, that shit is spot on. That it sucks that it's so spot on, but goddamn, that shit is spot on.
Let's go to one that's gonna make me happy.
All right, hurt.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna do like this. His time to fly under the radar and still be considered top 5 all time. I'm not gonna say I might not say top 5 all time, but I'll definitely say he's probably top 1 or 2 at his position.
Yeah.
And this is Tim Cowboy Bebop Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's see. Cowboy Bebop and Tim Duncan are so similar based on their low key.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can agree that this is a Hall of Fame material.
By far.
Covers all of the fundamentals of having a great career.
Mm-hmm.
Ended with a movie or championship.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just says bang. Now continue your GOAT debate. I mean,
I'm gonna go from the anime side of this. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime of all time. Like, Dragon Ball Z started me on the road to watching anime. Bleach was everything that I wanted to see out of an anime. Cowboy Bebop embodied everything that I wanted to, like, become as a person who watches anime. The sophistication, the music, the action scenes, the how the characters interacted. Everybody's kind of like nonchalant attitude and posture, especially Spike Spiegel, the main character. He's every bit of cool that I want to be. I don't even smoke cigarettes, but like, because Spike does it, like,
he'll consider it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, part of me kind of wants to smoke cigarettes. No, like, with the main character being as cool, as laid back, but still being lethal. He was underratedly like smart. Like, he could figure stuff out, even though he was a savage. He was like, it was always the simplest solutions for the most complicated problems, but like, in the end, it still kind of worked out. You know what I'm saying? When he had to suit up and go take care of business, he was always about it. But at the same time, he was on that bag chase. But at the same time, he had a heavy past behind him. It was so much as far as character development that went into these 3 characters, as far as Faye Valentine, Spike Spiegel, and what's my big dude? What's the big dude's name? Oh man, I was on roll. Jet. I almost lost it. Jet. I can't remember his last name. But no, it's the character development, their background stories, everything about Cowboy Bebop gelled, and on top of that, it had a nice jazz music feel soundtrack to it that you would want to listen to outside of watching the anime. Cowboy Bebop is definitely Hall of Fame material. Greatest of all time debate. Yes, it's up there with any anime that comes out afterwards or came out before.
I'm going to take it from the San Antonio Spurs fan perspective. And when I say that Tim Duncan was literally his nickname, the big fundamental, did everything he had to do. He didn't have to be like, for people who used to or who still say that the Spurs are boring, I see it the same way as sometimes boxing enthusiasts are just like, I don't need to see a knockdown. I just need to see the pure sport. I like the art of the sport. And that's exactly what the Spurs, and that's exactly what Tim Duncan was. Like, Tim Duncan was my favorite player, not because he was flashy, not because he was over the top, not because he talked a lot of shit. It's because he would go up against the players who did all that, and he'd win. It'd be like,
by sticking to the fundamentals.
It'd be like everything that, like, I remember, Kevin Garnett's better than Tim Duncan and da 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 da. It's like, no, he's not. Kevin Garnett just like yells louder. That's it.
Right.
Like Kevin Garnett yells louder. It's like Tim Duncan's there. Like, you know why Tim's career lasted a little bit longer? Because Tim got smart. Tim knew all that damn dunking and jumping and shit at 7 feet tall with his weight is gonna fuck up your knees.
Right.
That's what happened to Amari Stoudemire. Amari ran around, ran his knees into the ground, doing all that dunking and running and gunning with Phoenix. Like, you know, what he got to show for it? He in the big three league. He ain't got no ring. He had to go to Jerusalem and play basketball for a season.
Damn.
Like, New York ain't want him no more. I was like, Tim Duncan, I'm not going to give him the cool factor because he definitely wasn't as cool as Spike was. But as far as
anybody, that's like
yeah,
super
but as far
cool.
as being everything that you need from as far as necessities go, and not being over the top and being great at not being over the top, I completely agree, because that's exactly what Cowboy Bebop did. It was like, it didn't have to go crazy. It didn't have to go like, it didn't have to be a giant spectacle like a lot of animes. But everything it did with a purpose, and that purpose was fulfilled in my mind.
So we definitely both agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the one we might agree on the most. Because this next one, I think we talked about a little bit earlier, and that was the up and coming greatness. My Curry Academia is without a doubt the rising star of MB anime. Long after Naruto and One Piece, there will be a Steph and a Deku. Like, will one day be considered the greatest to ever do it. Strong start and only getting better, loved by most. In which, I mean, if you look behind, if you look over Sirius' shoulder, you can obviously see that I love My Hero Academia.
We love
Yes.
My Hero Academia.
Like, I just watched the movie a couple days ago, and that shit is just it's just anime Die Hard, and I'm like,
I gotta watch it.
I'm like, I love Die Hard, so this just
So it was like the first Die Hard, or just the series of Die Hard?
it was like the first Die Hard.
The first Die Hard?
Yeah, it was just
watch
like I said, it was just like it was just like, oh, bad guys are taking over this tower. Oh, we got to get up to the top of this tower. But, you know, in this case, everyone had superpowers.
Yeah.
So
heroic shit ensues all the way up the tower.
Yeah. Like, but I think I said earlier, the only thing I don't agree with is being the greatest of all time when it's done. I said, as far as animes and as far as Steph goes, I feel like they're subgenres, and I feel like My Hero and Steph could be the greatest in a particular subgenre, but not as far as the entire thing. Like, I don't think when My Hero's done, I don't think I'm going to say this was the greatest anime ever, but I might be like, oh, this is the greatest anime about superheroes ever. The same way I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to call Steph the greatest basketball player ever, but I'll call him the greatest shooter ever.
Okay. This, I can see why they said that once it's all said and done, he's going to be considered, one day will be considered the greatest to ever do it. Steph's style of play is exactly what it needs to be at his age, and what he's always been. It was a 3-point specialist. But
just like his daddy.
With age, he got to, now he's this phenomenal 3-point specialist. And
now I just be hitting these damn crazy acrobatic shots.
Yeah. And those points are going to pile up, and if it's continued, and with his style of play, he can play on well. Like, you know what, what's my man?
He's 30 now, so I mean, he can play well. He can play well into his late 30s. You know, as long as he is there for like old school Steve Kerr or Kyle Korver type of thing, where it's just like,
Still
just,
splashing threes.
Old Ray Allen. Like, look, just know you're pretty much here to get us a 3 when we need a 3.
All right, so I'm thinking that overall scoring record, he's going to be the leader of it by the end of his career. By the end of his career with threes.
Only reason I say that's going to be kind of hard is because LeBron just got to 4th, and he's only 4 years older than Steph Curry. And LeBron,
how many threes is LeBron taking and making?
I mean, I understand that, but you gotta account LeBron came into the game a lot earlier than Steph too. So that means he already had a lot of years on top. And even now, they say in order for LeBron to break the scoring record, the all-time scoring record, he's pretty much going to have to stay on the same pace that he's in right now. Like, even if Steph continues to shoot threes at a high level, like if his playtime goes down, that means he's going to have to average about the same amount of points that he's averaging now coming off the bench.
But
that's kind of hard, especially as you get older and you have less minutes.
If you're shooting threes at a high level, the way that he shoots threes at a high level, are you putting him on the bench?
You probably will, because like you might just
his style of play. Like, granted, he has a little bit of speed, but it's not like he's driving to the paint like Russell Westbrook. He's not a dog down in the paint like that. He will go, but he's not. True, crazy.
But he's already not the greatest defensive player. His ankles in past postseasons have kind of shown that they can't take a whole bunch. And then then you also have to consider a lot of LeBron's points also came from the fact that he's been to the postseason so many goddamn times. I was like LeBron's been to the postseason. LeBron's been to the postseasons a lot. Nowhere near like Curry, not as much as LeBron.
Look. Do you see how they build that Warriors team?
Oh yeah, I see how they build it, but
every single year to make a run at the championship, and most likely 9 times out of 10 they're going to get it.
But a lot of times Curry disappears in the hey, let him go. No, let him go. Come on.
Hey, man.
What you doing? Hey, everyone, say hello to Little Phenom.
I thought you were a ghost.
Say hi. No, you just want to play with my stuff. But yeah, I would say Curry, he kind of disappears a little bit in playoffs. Like he's been saved a couple times by KD. He's been saved a couple times by Clay and even Draymond before in the series. Like, that's the only thing. I don't think Curry's going to be able to keep that. Why the heck does he keep doing that? I don't know if Curry's going to be able to consistently keep this up for as long. Because think about it.
I'll give you that argument.
Because we've only been talking about Curry for 4 years.
Right.
Like I said,
but before then, he was already still one of the league's best 3-point shooters.
8, 9, let's see if he's 8 or 9 on the all-time scoring list, then my child's a genius.
And then you will be on the show every time we talk about sports.
Let's see. Only just to see where Steph falls in on this category. So, if you don't stop touching my mic, boy. Yeah, he got
a long way to go.
He got a long way to go, man.
I get that argument. To be honest, it wasn't a strong one.
He's not even in the top 50.
It was a push. It was a push, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not even in the top 50, man.
It was one of those ones that sounded real good, but I didn't have anything behind it. It was no foundation.
Oh man, hold on. Let's see. Is he in the top? Woo! I think Westbrook is above him right now.
Oh man.
I still don't see him.
It's okay. We don't have to embarrass this point even further. It's all right. Hey, look, I knew it was bullshit when I started saying it.
He's 108.
He's 108?
Yeah, 108.
I knew it was crazy when I started saying it.
So I would have felt a little differently if he had maybe come out of the gate
swinging.
Yeah, if he come out of the gate not even like scoring threes like that, but like starting and playing at the level he's playing right now, I would more so give it to you. But
if he was the fantastic Mr. Curry straight from day one.
Yeah, but because he came out later, and because he's been trying to pretty much been playing catch up, and he hasn't been a starter his entire life, it's kind of, you know, when you've been a starter your entire career, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, but like I said, definitely he'll go down in my opinion as the greatest shooter of all time. I can't argue that, and that's why I said with my hero, I don't know if it ever I don't know if it'll ever be better than like Dragon Ball or Bleach in my heart, but I would definitely say that if I had to put them in subcategories, it would be my favorite superhero or my favorite superhero anime.
How many other superhero animes you got in that category?
One Punch Man.
And what else?
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Like you need at least like 4 to make a group.
I can find more. I can find more. I'm just saying, like,
because like you don't like One Punch Man over My Hero.
Nah. I like My Hero.
I like My Hero more too.
So yeah. Oh man. All right. You can go ahead and read the next one. I'm going to go ahead and send him over.
Shane's got the helm.
Say bye. Say bye bye. All right, whatever.
Oh, don't get shy now. All right, next up, we got clearly the best player in basketball right now, although people really don't fuck with Josta Harden. Why? Self-hate, I'm assuming. Despite the wonderful performance for both careers, nobody is talking about him. Consistency. Black Clover just needs that one epic fight that closes the season. But until then, they will also fall to my Curry academia and remain in its shadow.
Yes, that is true. Because even before this happened, I was already shitting on James Harden. So
I don't know anything about Black Clover except for that it's a good show and possibly like the one of the best shows that I'm not watching.
I hear that from a lot of people, and I see that a lot on Facebook from the anime groups I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. Yeah, My Hero is the shit right now, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So Curry is going to be the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And James Harden, to me, it's like he says, he's consistent, but he just doesn't have that one thing that puts him over, in my opinion. And for me with James Harden, it might be more so because I don't really like his game that much.
Yeah, you called him sneaky.
It's like he's consistent, but
he'll consistently put up 50 points, but he's sneaky about doing it.
It's like, yeah, it's just like, all right, you put up 50 points. It's like 20 of those came from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you put up 50 points, and it's just like, you know, another 15, 20 might have come because you got away with some traveling shit, or you did a real good job of flopping.
So the refs are helping him with his games.
Pretty much. It's like, you know how like every once in a while there's always a player where they say it's just hard to ref him.
Yeah.
Harden is a player where it's hard to ref, and it just feels like
LeBron is one of those players.
Yeah, and it just feels like he just gets away with a lot. I mean, so much so that a lot of people, like, even though he's like in the MVP race and he probably should win MVP,
most likely,
a lot of people put Giannis over James Harden just because of the consistency of Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks, and because Giannis is honestly more of an attraction to some people. Like I heard from one podcast that I listened to, the guy owns season tickets to the Knicks, and he was trying to sell them because he couldn't make it to the Rockets game, and he was just like, I had a hard time finding someone to sell out tickets. And he's like, normally
James Harden.
Yeah, he's like, it's like you have a hard. He's like, when like if LeBron comes, I sold him out quick. If Kobe came, I sold him out quick. If the Warriors are coming, I can sell them quick if I want to.
Right.
He was just like, it's rare that you see a MVP contender come to Madison Square Garden and you have a hard time finding people that want to buy tickets.
Is he not marketing the beard enough? What's happening?
I mean, he's marketed well. It's just, I think a lot of people feel kind of the way I do, where it's just like you kind of don't 100% respect his game because you feel like some of the points that he gets comes from some kind of bullshitty ways, and it turns you off. Like I'm turned off of James Harden. Like I'll give you you scored 61 points. Your team won. Like you guys are going to the playoffs. That's great. But then at the same time, but I also know whenever the playoffs come, like you end up going ghost at the most pivotal moment.
That's a mean black light that hopefully they can rectify this season.
It's last year, all y'all ran out of gas because all y'all wanted to do is chuck up 3-pointers all the time, and when you ain't got no energy, your 3-pointers ain't going in.
Come on, man, CP3 let them down last year.
CP3 always gets injured. So that should have already been in the game.
Should have been factored in already.
Then the year before, speakers. Then the year before that,
speakers. Lights and everything. I'm telling you, man. And
I didn't.
You laugh when I say ghost.
Oh, I didn't see nothing.
You didn't see the light just?
Nah, I think I blinked my eyes at the exact same time. So, but then the year before that, they got eliminated by the Spurs. He only scored like 10 points. He only scored like 10 points that game.
Right.
Like I remember the first and last time OKC went to the finals. You know, they thought they were going to take Miami. It's like, oh yeah, you got Kevin Durant, you got Russell Westbrook. Then you're gonna have Harden coming off the bench. How they gonna stop it when you got a starting caliber player like Harden coming off the bench? He disappeared.
They really should have won everything.
He disappeared.
That's three MVPs on one squad. Yeah. 3 future MVPs on one squad.
Yeah, so
they should have won everything.
That's why I agree with that. I'll admit that he's a great player. I admit that he's an MVP caliber player. But I also admit that there's something about his game that never has.
He needs more commercials. He needs to go to the Lakers.
It's never enticed me. He don't need no commercials. I remember his commercials. I remember when he did his little R&B jank called Heart and Soul, where he was like, I know that you want me because I look the best. I wear my shirt open so you see my chest. I remember that jank.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. He's not marketing enough.
I used to get on my wife's nerves because I'd be like, taking my shirt off, taking my shirt off, taking my shirt off, girl. And then Steph Curry did the remix.
You said you used to sing that at work?
Huh?
You said you used to sing that at work?
No, I said you used to sing that to my wife.
Oh, I was about to say, not at work.
Nah.
Oh, that's how the SP3 came about. I got it.
All right. So next we have the 7 Uncle Drooly Sins. Something definitely worth watching. It's great, but is it the best? She could be. Something is off about his story. Like it has some potential to be trashed, but for some reason we keep rooting for it. Kyrie Irving is elite to anybody in his practice. 7 Deadlies is the same for mainstream anime. Because we didn't even get to this part. This is where we stopped.
Yeah, this is brand. This is untouched here.
Yes and no, because a lot of people see Kyrie Irving as an elite player, but they don't see him as being good enough to be up there, like at the top. It's like he's like the worst of the best in a lot of people's opinions.
What tier?
Like if you had to put him in point guards, he'd be a top tier point guard.
So tier number 1.
Tier number 1, but he'd be at the bottom of that tier, and it's more so because of intangibles and because of his style of play kind of diminishes the respect people have for him. So
as a point guard,
yeah. So it's like I hear people say this all the time. Where you're just like, oh no, Kyrie is a max level player. He deserves a max contract.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want him on my team.
Who's saying they don't want Kyrie on their team?
A lot of people saying that. There are Knicks fans right now who when talking about this free agency thing, they're just like, we don't want Kyrie.
So what,
they're like we rather have a Kemba Walker or a Dame Lillard type of point guard than we would a Kyrie. And a lot of it comes down to kind of intangibles.
Are people saying that Dame is better than Kyrie Irving?
People are,
because I love Dame, but I don't think he's better than Kyrie
That's
Irving.
why I said intangibles though.
Okay.
So you could say, yeah, Kyrie fast, Kyrie got the handles, Kyrie clutch.
It's a magician in the paint for his size, yo.
You could say Dame clutch. Dame doesn't have the same type of handles. Dame has a nasty 3-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
But you could say Dame is a better leader than Kyrie.
I'll agree because I don't think he was ready to be a leader for that Celtics team.
Yeah, and you could say Dame is more understanding of the role that he needs to play at any given moment than Kyrie. Because the whole reason Kyrie left is because Kyrie's like, I want my own team. I want to be, I don't want to be anyone's shadow. I want to do me. I have a feeling that if Dame was on the same team as LeBron, he wouldn't care about taking a backseat.
Right.
Like LaMarcus Aldridge left Portland because he saw that Dame was becoming the focal point, the focal star. Dame wanted him to stay, and Dame was just like, hey, this is still your team.
Right.
Like, this is still your team. I'm here to help you and to help Portland.
Man, if he
and that's what I mean when I say those type of intangibles.
Right.
Like, that kind of hurts Kyrie.
No, I think after this whole Celtics situation is cleared up, he would have learned from this because there's already rumblings about him learning from it now. Like, he's trying to rally the team, but he's like,
he's kind of said they kind of said like he's trying to talk more, and like it shocked some of the other players because they're just not used to him really like putting himself out there. And he's talking about, I understand LeBron a little bit more. I gotta apologize, but it's one of those things where it's just like with some other players, you didn't have to go through that tough period, and it's hard going through that tough period when you have like. Even before LeBron came back to Cleveland, you saw Kyrie as an elite level player, but then it's just like, what did that really mean? Because Cleveland still wasn't making the playoffs with just Kyrie.
Well, he had shit for help.
I mean, that's true. But
he hadn't. It was Kyrie Irving and who else is on that team?
But there are times when LeBron had shit for help, and LeBron was still able to carry teams.
But this is LeBron James.
I understand. I'm just saying. I'm just saying when you have max level players, sometimes. When you have max level players, you acknowledge that one person can't carry an entire team, but you also acknowledge that one person can still sometimes get you kind of far.
Yeah, I mean,
like you can definitely acknowledge that sometimes. Like Jordan before Pippen came along, always got knocked out of the first round of playoffs, but he still got to the playoffs.
Right. I mean, I liken it like this: LeBron was definitely Batman. Kyrie was Robin until he was like, fuck Batman. And went off to be Nightwing.
He wanted to be Nightwing. But then once he became Nightwing, he started to understand that Batman had a lot more pressure on him than he originally thought.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So this is all makes sense. Now for Seven Deadly Sins, I have to like this pivotal third season, right?
The one that just came out?
No. The one that just came out, second season, right?
Technically, it's the second season. Netflix is trying to say it's the third season, but technically, Netflix's second season was nothing but a damn OVA movie.
Yeah, they tripping when they come to that. Yeah.
So yeah.
But this next season of Seven Deadly Sins is going to be make and break for what this show is really about because they show like they've flashed us great shit. Like
the thing I like about Seven Deadly Sins is. There's not a lot of filler episodes.
No, it's not. Everything has a purpose.
The action kind of get just like Kyrie. It's moving.
Yeah.
You can't say it's not moving. You can't say it's not scoring, but then every once in a while you're just like, yeah, this is happening, but then the story doesn't always mesh up as well. Even with the first season, like I think the Seven Deadly Sins versus the Ten Commandments actually works a little bit better than what was going on in the first season with Hendrix and and trying to just bring back the demon race and all that.
But the thing is, even with the Ten Commandments, like there's still a little question as to what Leonidas, right? Leonidas? Yeah. Leonidas, or it's not.
Meliodas.
Leonidas
is
300.
Yeah, 300.
Yeah. What his relation is to the whole demon realm and the Ten Commandments.
He's a demon.
Yeah, they're showing it. But like, all right, so check it out. And this is how they can mess it up. Even where they showed him going back to the realm and then him having to kind of like fight his way out. And now that he's back, he's kind of like, he's not the same.
My man showed up in front of all them commandments and was like, hey, what's up, bitches?
Let's go. But he's like not the same. Like, if you don't explain that little subtle change to what turned him into like that ruthless, because now he's more ruthless. He's more no mercy, a little more unforgiving, as opposed to the lighthearted dude that went there.
I feel like they'll do that, and I feel like they'll expand more on what it was that softened him up and to leave the Ten Commandments.
And they need to do that. And if they ignore that, it's going to be trash.
They also need to explore Gother, because you remember Gother was a commandment as well.
Oh yeah.
Like the first commandment they killed, or the commandment that Escanor killed, that was Gother's replacement.
Right.
So you got to see what led up to it.
So if they don't answer those questions, like it's going to be trash. Like
mean,
if they
I
try
think-
to speed past that, it's going to be trash.
I think they will, and the only reason I give them that is because they could have rushed everything this season and just had them defeat all the 10 commandments this season.
Yeah.
But they chose to leave them around.
They left a lot of
Yeah,
them
they only killed
around.
like 3 commandments.
Yeah.
3 or 4 commandments. So you still have like 6 or at minimum half of them left. So
And
you
like
have
they're
a
the
lot.
strongest ones. The
Yeah,
ones
so you
that's
have a
left,
lot.
like-
So you still have a lot to expand on.
yeah.
So I'm hoping they expand more on it. Yeah, it's up there. Like in all honesty, and this may just be because it's on Netflix and it's bingeable.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like a big overall anime fan like you or Hypno. So I would say like if you ask me like my top 5 animes right now, it's probably, as far as actively going, it's probably top 3.
Okay. I mean that's respectable.
Yeah,
it's a
it'll
really
probably
good
it'll probably go My Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Then I probably have to say Goblin Slayer right now.
Goblin Slayer is your shit.
Only because of just how brutal it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like everyone's like, I love My Hero and I like One Punch Man and all that, but goddamn, Goblin Slayer is just it's just gritty sometimes, and I need that. Every once in a while you just need something that's You need something that's gritty.
Right.
So that, and then I can go, like, there are times at night I'll go back and, like, if I need something to watch while I'm trying to fall asleep, I'll just turn on 7 Deadly Sins and I'll just like go to the end of or go to like a fight. I'll go to like Bond versus Meliodas or something like that. Like, hey, I can just sit back and watch this shit.
Okay.
So I'll give it.
It
that.
doesn't make my top 5.
Yeah. That's why I said
yeah.
why I said top 5 currently, because I'm not watching a lot of anime right now anyway. So like top 5 currently, because I can probably only name about 5 animes I'm watching right now.
Right.
But all right, you know what? It's 4 now because I forgot about Attack on Titan. It goes My Hero, Attack on Titan, Goblin Slayer, and then
Well, you got to give the 5th now.
the 5th. The 5th would probably have to be Naruto, just because I'm watching it, and technically, since Boruto is going on, the whole like the saga of it technically counts.
Okay. Well, all right. Let me see if I can run through mine real quick. Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. The Broly movie, Dragon Ball Z Broly movie, it really like reinvigorated why I love Dragon Ball Z so much. But still Bleach.
See, you're doing of all time though. I just did currently.
I mean, this is what I'm still like kind
I
of.
say if I had to say all time, then
I mean, like if I had to say what I'm watching now. All right, so like now it's I got reincarnated as a slime. That's on
Okay.
Crunchyroll. That's really good. Then it's like my Shield Hero.
Okay.
Then it's like are we counting My Hero?
Yeah, you
Because
can
it's
come
still
here.
okay. So then it would be Attack on Titan, My Hero, and number 5 would be
Is it Overlord?
no, it's not Overlord. And a lot of people love Overlord, and I'm going to get back into Overlord, but it's not that yet.
I gotta finish the first season because the second season's out now.
I'm actively thinking of number 5, and I can't. I know there's something else that I'm watching.
Well,
Oh no,
One Punch Man comes out next month. So
they canceled it after the first season. It was on Crunchyroll. I think it was called like Toka and the Warriors of the Flower or Flowers of the Warrior or something like that. I butchered the name, but it's something like that, and that was really really good to me.
I don't know why I was thinking Blue Exorcist.
Blue Exorcist it doesn't meet my tops yet.
It does.
And I have to granted I have to watch the second season.
I like the action scenes of Blue Exorcist, but like when the fillers come in, I could care less about the fillers.
Yeah,
like those are the type of fillers where it's just like I don't care about this. Maybe because My Hero does such a good job with the whole school aspect that I don't really care about like the school aspect in
About schools.
in Blue. Yeah, it's like I get enough of school for My Hero.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The Fate series.
Phase Zero.
Yeah,
Phase Zeros.
all those Fates. Yeah, that had. I'm gonna push that in number 5
Okay.
because I love the Fate series, especially Unlimited Blade Works. that was my shit. But yeah,
All right. So now let's get to the next one. I think you'll agree with this one. Giannis Antetokounmpo on Titan. Let's see. One of the leaders of the new school. The depth of his story has only scratched the surface. His potential is almost limitless. Like, when he transforms, get the fuck out of the way.
Yes.
Yes. Giannis, in my opinion, probably should be the face of the NBA.
Mm-hmm. I think he needs a jump shot before he can do that.
Yeah.
He has a little bit. But
yeah, he has a little bit.
I need once he becomes a shooter.
Or I should say he's a transitional face. Like, if Zion Williamson comes in with all the hype they give him,
no, he's next in line for sure.
Like, he should be next in line, but the way they're
Zion's not going to.
The way they're hyping Zion is Zion can live up to like a quarter of the hype that he has. Then, because Giannis came in and everyone had great stuff to say about Giannis. Like, Zion out here, these sports analysts are already having debates on whether or not Zion is a Hall of Fame NBA player.
Then they're silly, because Greek the Freak is the next man up. He's the next for the throne. I don't care.
But Giannis even thinks he might not be the next face. He's just like, I'm probably not American enough. I'm not exciting enough for some of these people. And I was like,
is it about being American enough? I hope it don't come down to that.
He's just like, he's like, I'm not. Basically, he's like, I'm not.
No, he just needs to be marketed well.
Yeah.
If you want to do that whole not from here accent thing or whatever,
because he's a Titan.
Yeah.
That's what that dude is. That man is nothing but muscle, and he's scary. And I've seen him in person now, and he's scary. Like, I saw him next to Anthony Davis, and like, they're about the same height, kind of just like Anthony got them broader shoulders, but like the muscles on Giannis is like, yo, I feel like if he punches you, you're going to sleep. I don't care who you are.
No, man. Yeah, like I said, he's next in line for the throne, with or without a jump shot, if you ask me. Yeah, but once he gets one, he's going to be unstoppable. You're getting out the way if he's coming through in the paint.
Yeah, and the thing I think I like about Giannis is Giannis is learning. And Giannis, like the whole you say no jump shot thing, kind of like the way they say Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I feel like Giannis probably is like, all right, I know I'm going to have to do this. While you got like Ben Simmons who's just like, man, I'm just going to do what I do.
I'm good. I got time.
Yeah, like, who knows? Giannis might find Blake Griffin one day. It's like, hey, I need to talk.
Blake learned from Carmelo.
Yeah, Blake learned a shot because Blake's just like, my knees can't keep taking this.
All this dunking.
And I like Giannis. One reason why I say why I would pick Giannis over James Harden right now in the MVP race is, one, the Bucks have the best record in the league, and two, they've been at the top the entire time. I was like, James Harden was able to pull his team out of the hole they were in to get them into like the fourth spot. But the fact of the matter is, he was there the whole season, and they still started off in a hole. Yeah. Like Giannis, like, started off, like, he's there. He's just, he was there at the beginning, and he never had, like, all they've ever done is stay on top.
So they got Giannis, who can just do whatever he wants in the paint. And then they surrounded the rest of his team with shooters.
Bledsoe.
Even the center with Lopez. Yeah, Lopez. Surrounded him with shooters, bro.
It's like, shoot, if they get Brogdon back by the time the playoffs come, like, really, the only downside you could say about Giannis is the same thing you could say about James Harden. It's just when the playoffs come, they don't do that great. But you could also say Giannis is. But you can also say Giannis is only like 23, 24 maybe.
Yeah, he's got time. He got tons of time.
if he's even that. If he like.
He can't be no older than that.
Maybe because I think Anthony Davis is only like 25. So.
That's what I'm saying. He can't be.
He's 24.
Yeah, I was say he can't be too much.
I'm sorry, Anthony Davis is 26. But yeah, he's
kids to us, man. Jeez.
But yeah, man,
it's kids out here just living life and being superheroes in real life. Come on, man.
But yeah, my man, 6'11", 242 pounds. That is a damn Titan
of muscle.
Yeah. It's like what else do you need? There's nothing to say, but that's my MVP this season. James Harden will probably win it, but Giannis is my MVP. If for nothing else, you can say consistency with James Harden. I can say consistency with Giannis because he consistently never let his team fall below second place in the East, and they have the number one record in the NBA.
Yeah,
and they've had it for a minute.
Now, Okay, I accidentally read this comment. This comment says, but Attack on Titan is fucking trash and meant for casual anime watchers. And I take offense, sir. I take offense because I love Attack on Titan for every bit of chilling moments that anime gives me. Now, I'm not, if you want to say like casual, I'd say like Gundam watchers are casual.
I mean, you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing about most of the people on this list because a lot of these shows were mainstream shows that if you told someone that watched a lot more anime than you that this was one of your favorite shows, they would look down on you.
Like Dragon Ball Z,
you're like, Dragon Ball Z is great, and people like, really? That's your like you tell someone that Dragon Ball Z is your favorite anime, and you're telling it to someone that watches a lot of anime, they're gonna look at you like.
You watch anime, right? And Dragon Ball Z's.
They're gonna look at you the same way an anime head who only watches in subtitles looks at someone who says they only watch dubbed. The same way manga readers look at anime heads.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. There's a huge rift between all these people because I look at manga readers like, who has the time?
And manga readers look at anime people like. That's not even a real story.
Hey, lazy bums. They only want to find out the real story. Like, no. We should all work together. I get all the good pieces of information from these manga readers. So you clearly know more than I know because I'm just watching shit. Yeah, tell me about this character for real. No, but no. I mean, Attack on Titan. It's everything that they're saying that it is, and I mean, it's easy to get into. But the thing is, like, the story is like. They've barely scratched the surface, but they've found a lot of ways to keep you very interested. Like, yeah, like I think they're just on the way to the basement. And then from season 1, I'm like, yo, the fuck is in that basement, bro? Like, I've been hearing y'all talk about this for a long ass time. What the fuck is in this basement? And they're just getting to they're just on the way to the basement.
They just took their first step down the stairwell leading to the basement.
Not even that. Like, they're on the way there. They just got out of bed to go to the basement. And I'm like, all right, finally, we can figure out what the hell is in this basement. But if they don't get to the basement in the next season, like, I'd still be okay because I'm sure they just put a whole rack of other shit in there that like is equally significant.
You sound like me with the can opener and Suits. It's like I'm sticking with this because I like this show, but I also want to know what the hell is with the goddamn can opener.
It's just all
right. But. So we get down to our final 3. So we have Russell Westbrook and Tokyo Ghoul. Looks great on paper, manga/stats, but not so much when you watch it happen. You can tell when Russell flips a switch, he's dangerous, but the way he closes is always very confusing. Great player, great show, but is it worth all the support we give it? Only time will tell.
Have you watched Tokyo Ghoul?
I haven't.
Okay. Tokyo Ghoul is definitely worth a watch, and I know that you would enjoy it. It has zero. It's all serious business. It has zero time for like jokes. Like if you snicker at something in the show, it's because like it's something that they said earlier in the show. Like like oh, they did that again. But like it's not funny. You're not gonna have any of the humor from like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, even Bleach. Like you're not gonna have any of that. This is just like all business. And
it's gonna kick me out my house if I say something that it doesn't like. I'm like, yo, this episode's stupid. You're banned.
Get out. Nah. The first season started off lit. Like you 100% invested in whatever the fuck's going on because the story is intricate, but it toys along the lines of discrimination and like the different sides of society. So like you got these ghouls and then you got real people, but it's like. You got this I said real people, like you got humans, but like the humans has this task force that takes out these ghouls because they see them nothing is a threat, it's trash, it's garbage, they kill and eat people they need to be taken off of here. Blind, when you look at it, fresh thing in mind, you're like, no, yeah, that makes sense, these guys are monsters. But then they show you this life of this guy transitioning from being a human into a ghoul and kind of like the struggles they have in life. Like, we don't really need to eat humans, but there are some of us that are bad that do eat humans. Like, it's kind of like, so now you see what these ghouls' lives are like, and you're like, oh, it's it's fucked up still, but it's like, damn, they're
kinda
coping.
It's kind of like watching a mutant turn. Like, it's kind of like watching somebody get their mutant abilities for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's on that type of level, it's a real good show. I'd say watch it. It will leave you with questions. On paper, it does look fantastic. But while watching it, you will kind of go, if you miss an episode, you're damn near fucked. Because there's a lot of characters, they say a lot of names in Japanese. And it's like, they'll say a name and you won't. I can't tell you how many times they've said a name, and I had to Google that person to know what that person looked like. Oh, they're talking about him. Now that answers questions. That happens to me a lot in watching this latest season. But yeah, so that's Tokyo Ghoul. The action is great. The action is great. When they flip the switch and turn it on, that shit is some of the best action scenes that you'll see. The illustrations is the animations, everything on par,
So
top tier.
So in other words, you agree with this? You agree with this?
Super
comparison?
agree with this because that's all Russell Westbrook. It's like, on paper, he's great. Stat machine. He's going to fill them all. You know what I'm saying? Triple doubles out the ass. He's going to do it. When he flips that switch, he is the most dangerous person on the court, no matter who he's on the court with. He can be going up against King James. He can be going up against Durant. He can be going up against whoever. When he flipped that switch and decide, this is going to be my game. Like, you're not going to stop him.
Yeah, but in the end of games, he does make stupid ass decisions.
Which he
sometimes.
does. Which he does.
Take stupid shots.
Which he does.
Well, I'm gonna say that he did. Like, it seems like since Paul George came around,
Because Paul George been bailing him out. He don't have to feel that pressure. Oh, I need to make this shot because he. I feel like
with Paul George, it's like he's giving Paul George everything Kevin Durant wanted because he knows Paul George ain't no real threat. I think he feels like you are a real great player. You don't want the spotlight on you though at all. So you know what? You can do whatever you feel like is necessary. Like, I'll have your back.
Shot. Go ahead, man.
I feel like that. I feel like that's what it is. I feel like Kevin Durant was more of like, like I need the spotlight on me just as much as you. He's like, there's no reason why he should be more overlooked. I mean, it should be more looked at than me.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul George.
I'm Batman. He's Robin. I don't know why y'all keep calling him Batman
Paul
and me Robin.
Paul George. Paul George was always more like, all right, I get it. I'm gonna. A lot of people consider me an elite level player, but I don't need all that. I don't need all that pressure. I don't want all that. Like, I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, and Westbrook is like, all right, this little nigga right here does everything. I'll just let him do everything. He's like, oh no, man, you want to play a little bit? Go ahead. He's like, don't worry. He's like, I feel like he more so knows that that Westbrook is his safety net. So it's just like, all right,
if I'm having a bad game.
It's just like, it's like Westbrook's like, nah, man, I have fun playing for you. Come on, let's just go have some fun. Go do you. He's like, if you need me, just let me know, and I'll flip the switch.
Right.
Speaking of flipping switches, or should you just say flipping or turning into a snake?
Okay.
Have Kevin Durant and Fairy Tale. Kevin, what's that say? Dragonil? Dragonil. Oh boy. Needs the power of friendship to win anything. All about action and definitely delivers. Not the best player on his team, but you can't tell, can you? You either love him or hate him, not both.
I'm not a big Fairy Tale guy. So
I've seen a few episodes of Fairy Tale.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely say that Kevin Durant is the best player on his team.
Yes.
He definitely is the best player on his team, but he's not the heart of the team.
No.
Those can always be two different things.
Right.
Needs the power of friendship to win anything. I'm going to say yes, because everyone's just like, oh, these free agents can go wherever they want. Why is everyone hating on Kevin Durant for leaving OKC? No, we didn't hate him for leaving OKC. We hated him because they were up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals that would have gotten them to the finals. He choked more than Westbrook choked, which is one of the main reasons why they lost that 3-1 lead.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to the team that beat them to get to the finals. That's what it is. It's just like, out of all the teams in the world,
and now he's just racking up championships.
Yeah, it's like, out of all the teams in the world, the only two teams that would have gotten you any type of flack were the Golden State Warriors or the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah,
And you went to one of
you
those.
went to one of them.
If he had gone anywhere else, if he had went to Milwaukee with Giannis,
It would have been okay.
they would have been okay. If you would have gone
And they'd
down
be
to
winning like
if you
shit.
would have gone down to Miami and Wade was still there,
It'd have been okay.
Yeah, you could have gone. If he had gone to the Clippers with Blake Griffin and CP3, or if he had gone to Houston.
Now I'm just a Wizards boy talking. But if he would have came to us, he'd have been a national treasure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gonna come home and try to win one with your home?
Yeah, if he would have gone
bet.
anywhere in the world, it would have been okay.
Mhm.
And I feel like the love him or hate him really depends on how you feel about how he handled that situation.
How he handled that situation.
Golden State fans are going to love him because he helped them get them rings. He helped them defeat LeBron again.
Mhm.
Like a lot of other people are on the hate him side because it's just like you just kind of you caved in, and it's not even like you caved in and you went to the team that beat you.
Now, I hate him, but I used to be on the fence for a long time about it. I was just like, man,
I wasn't on the fence. As soon as he left, and they said he was going to go to the state, I immediately was on Russell Westbrook's side the entire time.
I was like, I mean, that's crazy that he did that, but what you gonna do? I was on the fence until, was it earlier this year when they played us? And again, I'm a Wizards fan. Unfortunately, right now we're going through a little rough patch, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon. But they was playing, and they dogged us. You know what I'm saying? And KD, I think like in the third quarter, something like that, somewhere, not 100%, but somewhere throughout the game, he was like, hey, sit me because these niggas is trash.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you don't get to say that.
And
You don't get to be on the team that you on.
I don't like the fact that since he won a ring, like he's gotten a hell of a lot cockier.
Hey, bro,
like
you
he's
do not
always
get to
trying
say that.
Yeah, like he's got like his ego is like literally a flip has been switched with him. And it's just, and he's so sensitive now. It's like he finally has the ring, but he's mad because people won't give him the validation that a ring normally gives somebody.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't respect how he got the ring.
It's unearned, bro. I don't care
Like,
if you was the Finals MVP.
Yeah, a lot of people like
it doesn't
like
matter.
he made those winning shots. He stepped up when Steph disappeared. I was like, why couldn't he step up when they were down 3-1 against Steph?
So that's all I say. So
Yeah, it's just like like
you don't get to be the type of player that you are. Go to the type of team that you went to and get to call other teams that are like building up and still trying to like make that push and shit trash.
It's like no matter
you
what
are a jerk, sir.
It's like they always say the record books always remember as winners and losers. It's like, hey, that's great for the record books, but the people who were there to witness it, a lot of us will always give Kevin Durant an asterisk next to those rings. And that's one reason why we're just like, no, he's leaving Golden State this year because he's still thin-skinned and he still gets his feelings hurt when people like question him about stuff like that. So he's going to want to go somewhere where he can try to do it on his own. So that way, or where he's not a part of the best team in the league already.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he does something, it's just like, all right, we can't say shit to you.
Now I'm going to say this with a disclaimer because then let's say. I doubt it. Happenstance, he's like, hey, I'm going to go become a Wizard.
Oh, you'll forgive him.
And everybody's going to say, you're serious. So you still kind of, and I'm like, I love the dude. We talking about, of course. Like, what you saying, man? I think he made the best choice that he could.
I'd be like this. I'd be like, I still don't like his attitude, but I can acknowledge what he can bring to the team.
Bring all of that.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Bring all of that with those rings, with the experience.
There are plenty of players on your favorites. There have been plenty of players on your favorite sports teams that you don't like them as a person, but you will acknowledge that they contribute in a very good way.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, and being in the position that he's in right now, you cannot say, have some humility about yourself. You cannot say that.
Yeah,
we're bad. We don't have a Kevin Durant-esque player on our team or a Steph Curry-esque player on our
Draymond,
team.
Clay,
even though Bradley Beal
Steph
is hooping.
Can all walk around like the shit don't stink. Even Boogie can walk around like his shit don't stink because he always used to walk around like his shit don't stink.
This is true.
Kevin Durant used to come off as a lot more humble, a lot more quiet, a lot more reserved. And now he's coming out like Dark Knight, he literally lived long enough to see himself become the villain.
KD ain't been the same ever since he started brushing his hair. All right, anyway.
All right, so we get down to our very last comparison before we end the show, and that is going to be AI, or should I say Alan Inuyasha, line up directly with the late 90s, early 2000s glory. Probably everyone's first favorite player, lost track of their career in series, but never delivered anything worth debating about. Hall of Fame material.
Inuyasha, Hall of Fame material, like to be up there with the best.
Yeah, at one point,
I ain't never seen no Inuyasha fights trending, bruh.
At one point,
Naruto was trending.
At one point, I mean, but
Naruto when him and Sasuke teamed up to fight.
Yeah, but you gotta think, but
Mimishiki,
like I said, the late
Mushoku.
'90s, early 2000s. This wasn't like you talking about Naruto during the social media age.
I know. It got.
Inuyasha was a lot of people's at some point after Dragon Ball, but before Bleach, Inuyasha was a lot of people's favorite anime until it was pointed out that it's pretty much the same story happening over and over and over and over and over.
That's
again.
what I'm saying, man. It wasn't no change.
Once people realized that the story never changed, that it was always he was mad at Kagome, like he had an attitude with Kagome had an attitude with them. They find a shard, they fight it out, they flirt a little bit, like he do something because he cares about Kagome. It was the same thing. But you still liked Inuyasha.
It was like they will, they won't. They never happened. They just always flirted with the idea, and it just never came to.
I mean, they did pull the trigger, but they pulled the trigger toward the end, and by that point, you stop.
Yeah, you're not invested anymore.
Yeah,
you don't care. It's like they've missed that shot.
I started rewatching it because I owned the first season. Yeah. Like Microsoft gave it to me for free.
Me too.
Anime Month. So I rewatched it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I used to like this show. And then like after a while, I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I fell off this show.
No, the coolest concept to me about that show was the fact that out of the two swords, you clearly had one brother who was hell-bent on, not even hell-bent, he was just like, yo, if I had Inuyasha sword, I'd have done this whole planet by now. This would be mine. But instead, but instead, my dad gives me the sword that heals people every time I cut him. And then Inuyasha is this, little innocent, ruffian. And he gets like the most powerful sword, of all time.
He was just like Shishomaru. You're evil at heart. He pretty much gave Shishomaru a sword to show Shishomaru why Inuyasha's here. He's like, because I care about people, and maybe with this sword, you can learn to care about people more.
Nah. Did he ever learn? Did he learn?
He did. He learned in Swords of an Honorable Father when him and. Because remember, it was 3 swords.
Right.
So remember, the third sword, like, I forgot what happened, but it, like, manifested itself because it was, like, so evil that it had to be locked away. It, like, manifested its own powers. And so Inuyasha and Shishomaru had to fight. And at one point, they were just, like, somebody asked Shishomaru, like, do you have anything worth protecting? And he was like, Shishomaru have nothing worth protecting. But then all he kept seeing was flashbacks of that little girl and his little lizard companion the whole time. Lord Shishomaru! Lord Shishomaru! Lord Shishomaru! So yeah,
I be riding with my homies.
He learned. Like even if it was only 2 other people, he learned some compassion.
Okay, all right. But still,
and that's another reason why, like Inuyasha will always hold a dear spot because I don't care what no one says. Those movies were dope.
No, although
I mean, you should know. I gave you the movie. I gave you the 4th. I didn't even know there was a 4th movie. The moment I found out it was a 4th movie, I sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
I thought it ended with Swords of an Honorable Father.
I'm not saying it's a bad show because it wasn't a bad show. Just like how AI wasn't a bad player, he's one of the best.
It's what it said. It got repetitive, and you kind of saw that it wasn't really going anywhere, and it hurt your heart that it wasn't going anywhere. It hurt your heart once you got to that point where you realized it wasn't going anywhere because you know that it could have been something so much better than what it is. It's
and that's AI's
career. Yeah, it's like AI. Like once AI got to the point, it's like this dude should be an NBA champion by now,
right?
But he's not, and and some of it is through no fault of his own. He just didn't have the type of squad around him. Like Inuyasha just didn't have the type of writers around him to build him up right. And it's just like, but you can't deny that once he hit that peak. He was just never he plateaued.
Right.
He just never was able to recover from that.
This is true. So we agree with this last one.
I agree. Like AI is still one of my favorite players. Just like Inuyasha is still, I can still go back and watch some episodes. It's just I know eventually what the general thing that's going to happen is going to be eventually it's going to be Kagome and Inuyasha flirting a little bit,
Right.
like with the love hate. It's going to be not it'll be Naraku flirting with Sango, like, or flirting with anybody that walks by.
My man was a dog.
Yeah, it's like like that's what it's gonna be. So I mean, there you have it, people. Like
We did it.
Yeah, this was a fun episode.
This was pretty good.
It was like a little bit longer than I expected, but it was very insightful. I mean, I know we've had a couple of people who's asked us before to talk a little bit more about anime, and this allowed us to talk a little bit more about anime, about some animes that, you know, I don't know 100% about. You don't know 100% about, but we each knew, you know, at some point
together we made something
together
happen.
we knew enough about both. Like, I don't really know Tokyo Ghoul. You didn't really know Fairy Tail. Like, so.
This is true. We gave it. This was a full show. We gave you a full show today. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Hey, I mean, let me go ahead and do our normal little drops. So, I mean, go ahead and follow us on those socials right there that you see popping up. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear what you guys think on this.
I'd love to hear from you guys too.
I mean, you're a part of the social. Like,
Oh.
you have access to everything. You
Oh, yeah.
You always have the choice to look. You just never do.
I sometimes do.
But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to share this this Facebook post that we pretty much just read through. Once again by Darius K. Adams. I want to share it on our Facebook page. You guys go through it, comment on it, let us know what you guys think. Show the original creator some love. I mean,
No, this is he put some thought in
yeah,
this.
this took some time. This took some thought, and for the most part, you know, when you're on the surface, it's correct. I
Yeah.
mean, of course, you know, the further the
You can
deeper
go into the
yeah,
logistics.
the
and,
deeper you dive into it, you can find fault. You can find fault in the argument, but when you're just thinking about it from just like a pure what it is, like how it is, and how you feel about it. I mean, dude was spot on.
Yeah.
Oh man, anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, man. No. I'm good.
All right then. Well, until next time, Phenom, Sirius, Blur Perspective, out.
Peace.